Todd Jeffries and Don Pryor.
Hey.
Yeah, I got the story on my LinkedIn page at Todd Jeffries about this growing trend of co-living. Yeah, co-living real estate trend is renters saving a whole lot of money where you basically, you could sign a short lease, a long lease, and share a home in some cases.
Yeah.
Outpost is one of these businesses that is doing this, kind of like an Airbnb, but for co-living.
Well, or what used to be very common back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 20s, I guess, going back, boarding houses. A lot of people would live in boarding houses for a very, very long time.
Elizabeth is on 183. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, what's
Hi.
on your mind?
So back in the day, I used to be a flight attendant in the New York City metropolitan area.
Go on.
And I lived with 41 people in a 3-bedroom apartment.
What? What?
That doesn't sound good.
We called them crash pads. And so not everybody is there at the same time, but it was the only way that we could afford to live in the area that we worked in.
You've got to have some stories.
Oh, there's some stories.
Yeah, well, there's some fun stories. It was fun in my 20s.
Not 41 people at one time?
Well, sometimes, yeah, but most of the time it was about 20 to 25.
Yeah, it was just 20 or 25.
And you basically shared a room with other people.
Yeah, so we had bunk beds, three tall bunk beds, and we had a common space, and it was a little crazy. It was a little fun, but I would never do it now. But definitely in my 20s, it was fun. I can't imagine doing it.
It sounds like the early days of an MTV show is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
You lived in Jersey City, man.
Yeah,
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Real world. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just wanted to call and tell you guys that.
Well, listen, you survived it. That's good. That's you're stronger because of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully got out.
A lot stronger, that's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Built up her immunities is what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say she can survive anything.
All right, so you got Mark and Melinda coming up at 10, and you're going to hear more reaction from the impeachment proceedings, of course. Representative David Cicilline, he's a Democrat from Rhode Island. He was on Fox just a few minutes ago. Here's his assessment following day one of a rather boring impeachment process.
That phone call wasn't just sort of a one-off, but this was really an elaborate scheme that involved people in the State Department. It involved a whole separate apparatus outside the State Department led by Mr. Giuliani. And I think people have to ask, is this acceptable that the President of the United States is asking it for or pressuring a foreign leader to gin up a phony investigation against his chief political rival?
Well, that foreign leader says, no, I didn't feel any pressure, didn't hold up any money, and didn't start an investigation.
No.
There's no smoke and there's no fire here.
We took an oath. We have no other course of action. We took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. That requires us to conduct this impeachment inquiry, to consider whether the president committed high crimes and misdemeanors. If we conclude he did, we are duty-bound to move forward with articles of impeachment. The Senate then will be duty-bound to have a trial and make a determination as to whether or not the president should be convicted and removed from office.
Listen, nothing we talked about or heard about yesterday in the impeachment process was high crimes and misdemeanors.
Nope.
Nothing whatsoever. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions just a few minutes ago.
It looks like before the evidence comes in, the votes are supposedly lined up and are going to be driven through to produce an impeachment that's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks of congressional time when we need to be fixing immigration, standing up to China, funding our military.
Yeah, he's absolutely right about that. What a waste of time this is.
It truly is.
If you think about it, though, they got 5 years to continue their investigation.
That's true. They got time.
The Senate's not going to impeach on this evidence. Nowhere close to the 2/3 vote that would be needed to impeach. So I think it's really an abuse of the process.
No doubt about that.
No, absolutely. It's I guess we're fortunate to be able to have this process available to us in this country. But they are abusing the hell out of it. And I was thinking, it's so unfortunate that for the Democrats that they have Adam Schiff as the face of these proceedings. And when I say face, I mean literally his face. Of course, he has no credibility due to his parody stunt.
Yeah.
But literally his face. Yeah. Literally his face is bad for the proceedings.
You're saying it's not him personally, but it's his face?
Both. I mean, when I say face, I mean literally and figuratively.
What are you talking about?
When you see him being challenged up there and you see his eyes start to bug out and his underbite get more underbitten, and
on.
his little mouth scrunch up even more, and his head actually starts to extend.
Don't be rude.
His neck actually lengthens.
Just don't be rude.
It's comical. It's comical.
That's not polite.
And it's off-putting.
You're not supposed to make fun of the way people look.
It ain't going well for them. It ain't going well for them.
It is.
Bless his heart.
9:51. It was a few months ago. You said you were talking about getting a dog.
Oh yeah, those days are gone. That's so.
What happened?
That conversation ended very, very quickly.
I mean, did you have a conversation with Rhonda about this?
Briefly, and it's an impossibility. It's not. It can't be a consideration because of why do you bring this up out of the blue?
Well, because there's some researchers. They're looking for a few good dogs. It's part of an aging study for dogs, and I just thought maybe you.
No.
Would want to help.
Not at this point.
She said no.
It's a matter that we have cats that will kill the dog. The cats will
get a big dog.
Will do away with the dog very quickly.
Yeah.
They'll come together and they will do away with it. They'll exterminate the dog. And it's a non-starter.
Even the one-eyed
non-starter.
cat, the fat one-eyed cat would destroy a dog.
Absolutely.
Well, there's some researchers that are looking for a few good dogs.
Scientists are asking pet owners for help in a project just launched seeking 10,000 dogs, all ages, sizes, and backgrounds, to take part in the largest ever study on aging in canines, which researchers hope can also possibly give clues to human longevity and health.
Wow.
The effort by University of Washington School of Medicine researchers and a vet from Texas A&M will include collecting data on dogs, which will live at home. A small group of them will be testing a pill that could slow the aging process. Interested owners can go to dogagingproject.org. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Why would you want to slow the aging process of your dog? I don't understand. This seems a little medieval.
I could understand that.
I guess.
If you love your dog, you want your dog to live forever, don't you?
I guess, but dogs are friends, right? Friends come and go.
That is true. But man,
Now listen,
you have no soul.
Now listen, my beautiful dog Barnabas, God rest his soul, passed away a few months ago.
Sorry to hear
that. The
that.
wife is already talking about getting another dog, and she keeps bringing up the idea of rescuing a pit bull.
Well, why? I don't know, man. What is it?
It's going to be a huge family debacle. It really is.
I hope she does. I
do not want a pit bull in my home.
Well, you can't. It would be hypocritical.
I don't want a pit bull in my home. I've read too many stories being a news guy about pit bulls eating children.
Well,
I just don't want. I'm afraid of them.
Given the years and years of conversation and debate on this show regarding this animal, you having a pit bull in your home would be hypocritical. You need to tell her.
It wouldn't be me bringing it in.
Your career will not allow you to have a pit bull in your home.
Well, I told her, I said, no, we can't. We just can't. It's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
What if it attacks a neighbor or something? I just can't do that.
You don't want that. You don't want that on your show.
Maybe my judgment is clouded because of all the stories I've read. She loves dogs, man. She's a dog girl.
Given y'all do have a double wide, there is room.
No, it's not a double wide.
and you could keep it chained up in the front yard. I got that. That would work for you right next to your above ground pool.
Right.
However,
I just don't like the idea. This was her idea, going to a shelter to pick out a pit bull. That to me sounds dangerous. I think I'd be better if it was a pit bull that was, acquired as a puppy.
Yeah.
Because how you raise a pit bull is crucial.
Yes. That's the only way that I would go.
There's not bad pit bulls. There's only bad owners that raise bad pit bulls.
So from that standpoint, if you do get it as a puppy, this would be a great experiment. It would be a great experiment to prove those that think all pit bulls are bad.
Maybe I should go for it and just document it.
If it's a puppy.
I'll make my wife sign an agreement.
Yeah.
Make her take full responsibility.
Let me know how that goes.
Hey, you can follow us in the world of social media. How do they find you, Don?
Don Pryor and at Don Pryor on Facebook.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at Todd Jeffries. Mark and Melinda coming up next.
The Todd and Don Show.
Listen up.